Guys, from Woods Farmer, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a little bit of a road trip. We're in western Pennsylvania. You guys have been watching the channel. We're heading east from, just got on the pike, the Pennsylvania Turnpike for 76 East. We're heading towards Monroeville, PA. If anybody knows where that is, we bought a few pieces of equipment I wanted to tell you about. I figure I'm bored, I'm driving them along the way. We got a couple different pedestal bench grinders that are really large. If you don't watch a channel frequently, we do a lot of machining, blacksmithing, homesteading, farming, kind of that genre related. That would be a good time to subscribe. If you hit the subscribe button, do me a favor, hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button. You'll get all my new videos. A lot of times I'm watching, and a lot of my subscribers, I get like 99% of my viewers from new view, or 99% of my views from new viewers. I'm like, where the heck's the subscribers that already subscribed to the channel? So I don't think you guys are getting my videos, and I'm getting comments on those videos from subscribers that say, hey, make more of the content, and I'm making that content, you're not seeing it. So that's a really important thing. But let me tell you a little bit about the equipment we bought. Now's kind of a good place and time if you're younger, I would say in your 20s, 30s, even in your 40s, and you're looking to get into metalworking, manual machining especially. So if you're good with your hands, you're good with welding, fixing things. The world's ran by CNC machines now. Water jet. I lived through a lot of that coming out, and the old manual machines still had a market at one time. Their market now has kind of really gone downhill, and there's still a lot of sellers on the internet asking decent money for these machines. If you don't know a lot about machining, sorry, but the ones that do, if you know what a Bridgeport is, which most of you probably do, you can't touch them when they're single phased out and everything else for $4,000 or $5,000 on Facebook, on the marketplace or Craigslist, if you can find them. But the crazy thing is, the auction market is flooded with those. And if you know where to look, you can pick up these Bridgeports for sometimes for $100, $200 that have minimum use on them that are worth probably $10,000. Everybody's like, before you go out and try to flip this equipment, I will tell you this: it's a very small demand and it has a great supply. So you're really not going to make a lot of money flipping these manual machines, and if you do, you're going to sit on them for a long time. So might be something you want to scratch out of your head as far as an idea goes for an easy money making. Now, there's money to be made, but rigging, moving, trailer, you got a lot of startup costs. If you already have that stuff, these things take up a lot of square footage. They got to be stored inside, or you're going to have so many rust issues and problems. You're not going to resell them. All right, back to what we were talking about. So in the manual machining world, CNCs are taking over. They took over, and it's like the old, you have to go to college to make money. That's kind of, I hate to categorize you guys in that category, but the CNC machinists, they sit on this throne as of manual machines are of no use anymore. That's simply not true. You cannot do on a CNC machine some things you can do on a manual machine, and vice versa, So I'm not a CNC expert. I know enough about them. I prefer manual machines. Getting back to, it's a great time to buy. So I'm buying these machines for not even pennies on a dollar. And I'm going to have a full metalworking shop for the rest of my life, and hopefully something to pass down for a few generations for my children. And that's kind of what it's all about as far as what I'm concerned with. I got to make money, I got to make a living. And what's everybody not doing to where you can make, well, not a lot of people, it's not real cool to have a manual machine no more. To me it is. You're going to always make really good money right now with a manual machine. So if you've been watching the channel, we're getting this machine shop up and running earlier than expected. We wanted to build a whole nother building for it. what we did is we did a quick addition on the barn. We cleared some things out, got rid of some stalls, made some new stalls, things like that. So everything around the farm is still a work in progress, but today ain't about around the farm. We took a nice trip, a little break from the farm, pulling a 30-foot big Tex gooseneck up to Monroeville. I bought I think I got 2 bench grinders, pedestal bench grinders. They're not like the bench grinders you see that are like the 6-inch ones. The one, the scaling that I looked at on the picture, it should be between a 24 and a 30-inch grinding wheel. And a lot of you that know a lot about grinders are like, I don't think you know what you just said. Yeah, I do. A 24-inch grinder. So the wheel is 24 inches around. In that ballpark. This grinder, though, the problem with these are, a lot of them, with grinders especially, you can't really convert over. You can and you can't. So don't get me on a stipulation here, guys. What I'm trying to get at is some are 480 3-phase motor windings that cannot be punched down to 220 or above. That's why you're getting these machines so cheap. You need a power transformer that's $1,000 just to bring it down to 220, and then go over to a rotary phase converter. I'm not saying anything bad about VFDs or their performance. That's what you need to do with a bench grinder. Well, this one had a power transformer on it, so I'm hoping it's not a step up and it's a step down. So I got that grinder for about $175, which isn't bad. One wheel is worth almost $1,500. So I got 2 wheels that are in real good shape, complete grinder and a transformer. So I got a lot of bang for my buck. There's probably $4,000 or $5,000, if not more, in parts sitting there. I got also a Hammond machine pedestal grinder, probably around a 16-inch wheel, for $88. It's worth more than that in scrap. The wheels are worth more than that. So anyway, making a real long story here short. Little history. I don't know a lot about the Hammond Machine Company, but it's Hammond of Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo is where it's made in Michigan. Little quick trivia here, reading up on it. I found Hammond made OK grinders. I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. I wonder what that stands for. Well, that stands for the same thing, Hammond of Kalamazoo. So if you're wondering what the OK series is all about, I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't know where I'm coming up on my exit here, so I'm gonna make this quick. Then I bought a Oneon generator for $28, and one Oneon generator, hopefully it's a diesel 3-phase, for $190. So all in all, I got some tooling too. I'm gonna maybe get some shots of loading, but I'll see you whenever we get back to the equipment. I figure I get a couple shots. I looked at the GPS. We're only by the New Kensington exit. So you're not from Pennsylvania, or even if you are and you want to get all giggly, this is the Pennsylvania Turnpike. A couple of toll booths. We're down near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's which way we're heading from the western side. Alright guys, we're going to do part 2 in the barn, which if you've been watching, you know that's where we're keeping the blacksmith stuff, the machining stuff, the animals, like everything. So for right now, yeah, we're gonna do it in the barn. I already did the hard part. I unloaded. I want to get you some footage at the auction site. I just couldn't do that. It was so jam-packed with people. I don't know if I told you. I'd have to look through the footage, and I'm not going to. But if I told you in the intro, or if I didn't, you're gonna know now. I bought 2 Oneon generators. One's a big 3-phase that I could run, I think, 480, 440 equipment on. I didn't even get to that. It's not going to be able to get. I'm not going to be able to get back to it for about a week. So that can tell you the magnitude of that place. It was just. I'll give you. I took some pictures, so I'm gonna put some pictures of the building. Well, probably up now, just as I talk. But it was like this really weird block building in Monroeville, PA, and it was really cool because there's a lot of history there. There's an old tow truck. I'm gonna put. I think it was a Ford. I'm gonna put that in there now too. But this building, you could tell they kept adding on, and there was a huge hillside, and all this old block. They just kept digging into the hillside, so it was so awkward because to get 300 feet back, you had to go through the whole shop in a maze to get more equipment in. You know, they never put another door. It was like one door to it, and the door didn't even work. So something that should have took me an hour to get most of my stuff, it took me like 5. And that's why I didn't get a lot of footage. Everybody was pretty busy, and you know, I'm not saying I was happy about it, but I'm one of those guys. I didn't even say nothing. I was like, yeah, it's a hard day. You know, we got to get all of us got to get our stuff. So I helped a lot of people. They helped me. It was nice. I bought some more tooling and even a really neat vise. Neat to me too, because I have half of this vise, and it's a real expensive vise, and I thought I'd never get another deal on one. And I actually traded a guy a set of skid steer, like I guess they call them no flats for the strap yards. I have a pair of skid steer wheels and tires that don't run flat. So I have no use for them or smooth. And I was like, hey, I'll trade you. He's a scrapper, and the vise is no use to him. He's like, heck yeah. So he gave me the vise, which was real cool because he trusted me. And a week later, I'm gonna have to, when I get my generators, he'll still be there. He bought most of it. I'm gonna bring his skid steer wheels and tires out. So if you're wondering what's behind me, it's just a shot in the barn that I wanted to do. I didn't even set it up this way, but this is a Logan 200 lathe. It's precision lathe that I did a couple of videos on. I did like a little bit of a review when I got it. I didn't really know as much then as I do now, so I probably should do another video. I'm gonna do more videos, machining videos, so you'll see it in action. And then the second, or the first, I forget which order I did them in, but the second other video that I did was a serpentine belt conversion on a headstock. It was pretty in-depth. Talking to a couple of my fans on YouTube, subscribers, whatever you want to call them. One was seeing one. He wanted more machining videos, and I'm going to do that for him. So this is machine related, so I guess this is for seeing one too. I might have been seeing one also for the headstock. Yeah, I think it was. So Logan actually still sells the headstock bearings, and anytime you take his bearings apart, I guess you should replace them. I didn't. I got lucky. If they burn up or something happens, that's where we're going to be headed. So let me flip around the camera. I'm going to show you. I think I could show you everything I bought, kinda not. You'll see why. I'm just going to head over towards my Harley here and show you something. So we bought a Hammond Machine Builders at Kalamazoo, like I was saying. Grinder. The grinder was shot. It has suffered severe water damage. Even the grinding wheels were shot. They were watered. I mean, everything on this was shot, and I wanted to kind of salvage it. I don't like scrapping everything. So I did scrap the grinder, and I saved the base. I love the base. It's got like that 40s, 50s like gas pump look. That's the pot for your stuff you'd put in your pot, I guess you'd say. I think what I'm going to do is put a nice little brass or stainless or copper, just like a piece in there to dress it up a little. I wanted to go with original. I had some Kubota orange oil-based paint. Slap some paint on there real quick. It needs another coat. I actually let my kids paint. They did a nice job. I'm going to paint that black, put it back on with new hardware. I'm thinking either for a vise, but being it's cast, I mean, you could tell it already cracked. Being it's cast, I don't know. I might just get a nice, if you've been watching the channel, we have that sawmill. I might get a nice live edge slab and just have it for like a little table in the barn, something unique that I can, set drinks on, the tools, the whatever. There's 4 holes in it in the base, so I was going to maybe even thinking about putting it on casters. We'll see. I want to show you. Let me see if I could find it. Might be under all this junk. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this was, I saved this too. I'm probably going to cut that off. Touch this plaque up. Maybe paint it. Maybe not. Probably not. Drill 4 holes in it, and I'll hang it up somewhere in the barn. Like I said, I'm trying to save everything. This one on here. And obviously for a table, it's no good. So I did cut that off, but I salvaged it. I mean, there's a lot of pride probably in that plant that went into making these things, and I want to keep some of that alive. What I ended up doing is this shouldn't say severely damaged, but there's a lot of rust on these. I wanted to separate my tooling first. So on this rolling cart, I put a piece of cardboard down, and I separated, my Morse taper bits to my regular reamers, to my high-speed Morse taper reamers. There's a nice countersink here. Morse taper countersink. There were some fouls. My son cleaned them up, and these are just concrete bits. But yeah, that's where first things I do when I go to an auction, I try to separate everything, because it was so thrown in here, you would have been like, oh my, it's disgusting. Let me get some of these tools off here. I want to show you something, because this was if you guys watched the video of the Sibley drill press, the Sibley, this is the tooling that came with it. So
I think I told you guys I paid like $100. I can't remember what I exactly paid, but it was around $100, $115, something like that for the Sibley. And I'll show you all the tooling that came with it. I mean, it's... Guys, just hang tight there a second. Let me get this offloaded and then I'll show you everything. It's really neat. And this is why you guys gotta check out auctions. Right now is the time to buy, like I was saying. All right, so here's what we got. Morse taper drill bits, Jacobs chucks. There was a bunch of other, I don't know where I put them. I might have put them there to Logan, but drifts. Those are for getting your Morse tapers apart and pound the drifts through. All these adapters. All this really nice lathe tooling and holders. Some Williams holders, reamers. All that came for the $100 or $115 that I got with the Sibley. All right, so that's enough with that. Let me get over to the drill bits I bought. I bought drill bits, and I got caught up in an auction. I couldn't tell the sizes, and I was like, wow, I think I did bad. I paid $100 for these. Then I went there, and I'll show you the sizes of the... Let me move this stuff. This looks bad. Put this on the vise. Still cleaning up after the concrete we just poured, so excuse the mess. These came with it. All these cutters came with it, which if any of you guys are in the machining world can identify what these are, thinking me and my dad were talking maybe some sort of honer. It's odd because this is all brass. These are all brass. Excuse me. But all these big bits, I'll give you a size comparison. They're 2.5, 3-inch bits. And then this big bad boy was in there. It's a 3 13/16. So let me move some of this junk again. All those hold downs came with the Sibley if you watched the video. This can came with it. I love it. So this is a water bottle comparison. This bit is massive. It's 3 13/16. That also came with our auction find. Here's the vise. This is an articulating 3-axis machining vise. I was really hoping to buy one of these in the near future, and it's going to spend a little bit. Well, I don't have to now because I did the guy a fair trade. I mean, you know, the vise and the tires, it's pretty equal. And, you know, he's probably thinking he got the better end of the deal, which is good. I want him to be happy, but in all reality, we both made out, so it was nice. All these Morse taper attachments came with all this stuff. Now, I have a question if any of you guys know what this is. This in particular, cutter, I guess you would call it, / honer maybe, I don't know. I'm normally real careful with this stuff, but it's heavy duty. So I set it down. This snaps off, and look at that. I mean, this is old stuff. Why was just plastic holding this on here? You know? To me, there's no way that plastic was only holding this on drilling. I really want to know what that was, what the story is on that. I don't think anybody's going to know, but it's worth a shot. So why do I like my 3-axis vise so much? Again, the shop is a disaster. Because I bought the Cincinnati, if you guys watched that video, and it had a 3-axis, nice, fancy 3-axis vise, and somebody, at some point, the top part, the vise part, they yanked it. And it's like, why? You can only use it on there. But so I was like, been trying to look for just the vise part. You're never going to find it, ever. You can't, and it's too hard to make. It's too much of a complex part. You can make it, but it wouldn't make sense. So yeah, this is the concrete we did. It's raining. I'm going to go out in the rain for you guys. I want to show you something. So we were painting yesterday. Got to clean that up still. Gotta cover all this stuff up today. I just figured leave it in the rain because it'll wash it off. So before we see that, which is really awesome, I'm going to show you. This is an old, I think they refer to as a Gandy Dancer wagon. Railroad era, very old, $20. It's locked up, but I plan on painting this up, getting the wheels freed up first, obviously, painting it. I'm going to put new tires on it. So I want to restore this wagon. You know, this is something that definitely a lot of them's been scrapped, and we don't want to see that happen. All the skis and everything are all in real good shape, so got that, and then here we go. And I know the wheels should be covered, but they're junk anyway. This is a big 20-inch grinder. This is a Setco. So if I can find wheels for it, I'm not taking it to the shredder. This wheel wasn't so bad. The other side's like down to here. And what he ended up doing, which I really wish they wouldn't have done. I mean, I understand the improvises at the time, but they kept building this plenum. I can't remember what they call the grinder tray thing that holds it. But whatever, the holder, they kept building it up and sucking it into the wheel rather than buying a new wheel. But yeah, this is a really big piece of equipment. I would normally not save this because it's 440 or 480, but look what they put on it. They got a transformer stepping it down. So this thing's worth a lot more, and it's more practical for me. Normally a bigger piece of equipment I put a lot of thought into and how much I'll use it. And for a 20-inch grinder, I'm probably not going to use it much. When you need it, it's great, but I'm not going to use it much. So it's like, am I keeping it? Because it's so square and it's such a small footprint, it won't take up the shop room that most equipment will. That's why we got the shear sitting outside. Got a couple thoughts on the Lodge and Shipley. I want that to get a nice wash too. So I thought that was a 3-phase shear. It's not. Believe it or not, it's a 220 single phase. And they put an updated motor on it. Well, that's the motor I would need for my drill press. So I'm either going to swap motors and sell the shear, keep the shear here, eventually pour a pad next year and put a little roof over the shear to keep the shear. I don't know. All I know is I got to get it covered up today. Here's some more parts of the Kalamazoo grinder, the Hammond grinder that I salvaged. If anybody watching needs any of this stuff, that's why I saved it. Message me, I'll sell it to you for a good price. I just want to get my money back that I got out of the machine, or most of it. Guys, so that's pretty much all I got for you today. It's a rainy day. I want to get to working in here. I need to put some shelves up, get this place cleaned up. Hoping to get some of that done today, but I've been trying for a week. Like I said, more machining videos to come, more farming, homesteading. Yeah. So if you're not subscribed, again, hit the subscribe button. You know to hit the bell now. Thanks for watching my video, guys.